Chapter 16, 24 Hours in Nowhere, 8 o'clock a.m. The three of us covered our ears and ducked as Jessie screamed. Once I knew for sure I wasn't going to be hit and my ears stopped ringing enough that I could hear, I ran to Jessie. He was jumping around howling. I grabbed at his flailing arms. "Are you okay?" I kept yelling, but he didn't hear me. Rossi picked up the flashlight and knelt on the ground at Jessie's feet. She attempted to hold his leg while he writhed back around. "Stop it," she shouted at him. "Calm down." Matthew and I grabbed his arms and tried to keep him steady, while Rossi inspected his foot. "I shot myself, man. I shot myself." He threw his head back and wailed in a way that made me fear he had shot off half his body. Rossi held his foot in her lap. A tiny corner of his sneaker had exploded, and red was already spreading from the site of the explosion. Rossi looked up at me. "I don't think it's too serious." She looked unsure. "I'm going to take your shoe off," she told Jessie. "No," Jessie screamed. "Don't touch it." She shook her head. "I don't know what to do." "We need to get out of here," I said. "He needs a doctor." "I can't," Jessie wailed. "I can't walk." I turned to Matthew. "We'll have to help him." "I can't walk through this cave," Jessie whimpered. "I want my ma. I want to go home." "We're going home," I told him. "We're going back to where the pigs came from. There's got to be a way out there. It's not far." Jessie continued his whimpering and wailing. "Wasn't there anything else in the holes?" I asked him, but he was too hysterical to answer. Without having to ask, Matthew reached in and felt both holes. He didn't need to say a thing. His face told me everything. "This was all for nothing," Jessie cried. "This is so much worse than if Andy Letterman had been here. No gold? I told you guys we shouldn't come. I've shot myself for nothing." "You need to calm down," I told him, doing my best to forget my own crushing disappointment. We needed to focus on Jessie now. "We're getting out of here." I pulled his arm over my shoulder. "We'll help you." Matthew pulled Jessie's other arm over his shoulder. "Where are your crutches?" "Rossi," she turned to me. "I'm sorry. I really thought it would be here." "It's okay, Gus," she said. "I did too." Her face was filled with fear. I knew what she was thinking. What if we were stuck in here, and now Jessie was injured, and who knew how much life was left in that flashlight? Jessie was right. This was all for nothing. I could have just killed us all. "We'll follow you," I said. Rossi shined the flashlight on the map. "Okay," she said. "We go this way." Matthew and I held on to Jessie as he hopped on one foot through the cave. It was tough and slow going, making it over the boulders and rocky ground in tight spaces with Jessie injured. Rossi frequently checked the map, but before long our surroundings were looking different. In a bad way. I stopped. "I don't think we've been here before." Rossi turned in a circle, shining the flashlight all around us. "I don't think so either. I think I led us the wrong way." She looked at the map, and I noticed how it shook in her hand. She dropped it down by her side. "I'm sorry," she whispered, her eyes squeezed shut. "I don't know where we are on this thing." I took a deep breath. "It's okay. We'll just go back. We must have made a wrong turn somewhere." We turned around and went back the way we came, but after a while I realized something. Dire, dreadful, frightful, alarming. We were lost. We had no idea where we were in this cave. We had limited light and hadn't been looking for familiar landmarks like we should have been. We thought the map would guide us. We were all too scared and focused on Jessie to have noticed we were making wrong turns. We could wander here forever, and soon we'd be in the dark. "We need to keep moving," I said. "How big can this cave be?" The ground under my feet was far less rocky and had turned into a sort of crackled clay. I reached down and touched a finger to it. The dirt was fine and red. I looked up at Rossi. "Do you think there used to be water here?" "I've only seen this kind of ground in dry lake and riverbeds," she said. "It's silt." She looked at the map. "I think maybe we might be here." She pointed at something on the map that looked like a river. "If it used to be a river, maybe it leads outside." We continued walking along the crackled ground, hoping it led somewhere, anywhere. "Maybe we're going deeper into the ground." Matthew breathed heavily, and his voice trembled. "Maybe we'll get too close to the Earth's core, and it will get too hot, and it will burn us to death." Jessie made scared, wheezing sounds beside me. "It's not hot," I said. "We're not going to the Earth's core, and that's not helping." I stood there a moment. "Actually, I feel a slight breeze." "You're crazy, Gus!" Jessie cried. "You've lost your mind." I let go of Jessie and walked to Rossi. I grabbed the flashlight from her and pointed it at her head. It flickered, and we all gasped. I tried to focus on Rossi's hair. I remembered how it had blown back from her face when she'd first opened the hole in the mine wall. A few thin strands of hair lightly lifted and blew in the direction we had come from. "I think your Indian sense was leading us in the right direction," I said. "How can you joke at a time like this?" Jessie said, but Rossi just stared at me. She licked her finger and held it up. "I feel it." Except for the sounds of Matthew's heavy breathing and Jessie's whimpers, we walked quietly in the direction of the breeze. And then Rossi stopped abruptly in front of us. I let go of Jessie and walked up beside her. She pointed the flashlight straight ahead. "Oh no," she said. "What is it?" Matthew asked. He walked up next to Jessie hobbling by his side. "Shoot," Matthew whispered. I swallowed, and despite the extreme humidity in the room, my throat felt like the dried-up skeleton of a saguaro cactus. We had reached the big, dark, shaded area. "We're all going to die," Jessie said.